Hi friends, and welcome to another episode of Kim Wilpon Crafts. That's right, I'm Kim Wilpon. What? That's right, I'm Kim Wilpon. Take it all in. Today we will be dyeing yarn with Kool Aid. Oh yeah! Yes, Kool Aid, I said it. Now, this trend has been all over Pinterest, knitting blogs, dyeing blogs, and I thought it would be a really fun idea to try it out, right? So today, I will be doing 5 skeins of yarn and 4 different colors. We're gonna try, and I don't know, there's no guarantee on something I've never tried before turning out well. I'm really building this up for you friends. I'm nervous. I have read, I've studied up, I've watched other videos, but it could be great, and it could also look like poop. I don't know. It could just be one big poop emoji. So we're gonna do Kool Aid yarn dyeing in 2 different applications. So one will be using the microwave and the other will be involving this crock pot. So a couple of things about Kool Aid yarn dyeing that I learned is that it's great because it's non-toxic. So I don't have to wear any sort of masks or face protection or gloves. Maybe I should wear gloves. I'll probably live to regret that decision. But also it's great if you have kids. You could do this in your kitchen. It's color fast. That's another thing. And the biggest question people have is, does it wash out? No, so they say. But then the blogs go on to say, but it does fade over time. But it might fade. Just be honest. We like honesty. So, let's get this party started. Yeah. We're getting it started. So let's do it. Okay, I'm excited. All right, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm mostly excited. So we're going to start out with the thing that is going to take the longest time. So I have this bin right here. And I am going to put 3 skeins of yarn in here. I'm going to fill it up. And then I'm going to include lots of this white vinegar in there. Because the dye itself, the Kool Aid, doesn't have any acid. Acid? What? Oh no! It's boiling acid! Acid in it. It needs something to help the fibers open. So we're gonna fill this up, probably about up to here, and then add a bunch of white vinegar in there. And then we're gonna put our yarn in here and let it soak for an hour. So let me go fill this up.
A few moments later. Later.
It's still filling up with water.
Much later.
It's heavy, so I'm gonna put it down over yonder. Maybe I'll put it over here. I'll put it over here for now so that you can see it. So we've got lots of water in here. Now I'm gonna open up this vinegar. So the point of adding in some white vinegar is so that the yarn opens, the fibers open up to accept the dye. I could be totally wrong. This was my understanding. You see, I have read several blogs on this, watched some videos. Ooh, that vinegar is strong. Because we're using Kool Aid, and Kool Aid itself does not have any dye in it. And most yarn, if not dyed with natural ingredients, is dyed with an acid base. That's my understanding. Hopefully we get it right. So I'm going to actually soak 3 skeins of yarn in here for an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and pour in, it said a lot, so I don't know what that looks like. I'm just going to, that's my eyeball. That's like 1/3 of the container. Who knows? Who knows if I'm doing this right? We're going to find out together. So you want to make sure that the yarn is tied off at 3 different places. Now, I purchased my yarn from dyersupplier.com, and it's already tied off for me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let it soak. Yeah? Okay. This feels crazy. So, okay, so here's a couple of things while I'm getting first skate. Okay, you go in. So this yarn is 75/25 Merino nylon fingering weight yarn. And it's a superwash merino wool, 415 yards each. We're gonna have enough yarn to do something with, but this is what I'm using, and I'm gonna save those other two for the crock pot because we're gonna do crock pot and microwave. So the yarn that's going in here now is going to be the yarn that goes into the microwave later. Here's one of the things that I maybe have glazed over. If you don't have yarn that is already tied off, you can kind of see it's right here. It's tied off in 3 different, you can definitely see this one here. It should be tied off into 3 different sections loosely so that it does not separate and you don't have like cranky yarn, so to speak. It is an experiment. I don't know why I'm trying to play like it's not. Okay. Let me get that submerged. Make sure that it's all wet and it's soaking. Set the timer for 1 hour. So now I'm gonna set this on the other counter, just so I can clear some space. Now, we've got our crock pot here. And I filled up the crock pot with some water in it already, about halfway up. I've read some articles or some blogs that said just the bottom layer. I read some that said 3/4, so I'm going halfway. I'm doing 2 skeins of yarn in there, and then they say to add, or however many, ooh, okay, oh, that's a cap's worth. They said a cap's worth or splash. Because I'm doing 2, I feel like 2 caps worth, but it's already happened. We're done with this. Thank you so much. Let's give that distilled white vinegar a round of applause. Yes, yes. Now, we've got to turn this on, which means I should plug it in.
Plug it in, plug it in.
And I'm going to do low. It says 8 hours, but I'm not gonna have it in there for 8 hours. First, they say you want the water to get a little bit warm before you put it in, and then we'll let the yarn soak for 15 minutes. So while that's happening, I will show you the colors I'll be using today. So now when you're looking at Kool Aid packages to purchase, I bought like a gigantic assortment because I didn't know what I wanted. There's not that many Kool Aid varieties at my grocery store, so I ordered one on like a box, I think on Amazon or eBay or something. You know the deal, link in the description. So for the crock pot yarn, I will be doing some green yarn. So when you're picking colors to choose from, you're gonna look at this corner guy here. Hey, Mr. Kool Aid Man.
Oh yeah!
So in this glass is the color that your beverage would be, right? So this one's a little bit lighter, but still in the green family. So the 2 skeins in here will get this kind of green-ish look. We will not be putting any sugar in this. The sugar adding is only for beverage drinking. So one of the other color combinations I'll be working with is this like pink and this gold. So I'll just show you. I think it's gonna be a really cool. And then we've got this like orangey, gold, and blue. Really excited for this. I mean, 2 of the 3 colors have mango in it, and it's my favorite thing to eat of all time. So my favorite color, my favorite food. And then the last one I just thought would be something a little bit darker, and so it's only going to be 2-toned. So I'm going with kind of like a dark berry color and a deeper blue. So we're going to see how this all turns out. So it said about 3 minutes it would take for that to happen. Has it been 3 minutes? I should have set another timer for this.
A few minutes later.
So now I will open. You know, you want it to get like foggy, and it's got that like sort of Titanic-y feel, if you know what I'm talking about. The last two skeins out of the packaging. I'm going to unravel them. I'm going to sort of fold it this way. Because I want the other one to fit in too. So let me push that down just a little bit to submerge. So you want them to be sort of similar because you want them to be, you know, as similar as you can get them to be. And then when you flip them, you want them to be in just like flip like pancake, you know. They do suggest a lower heat to do this than a higher heat. So now I will let that sit for 15 minutes.
15 minutes later.
You know what that sound means? That the 15 minutes are up and our crock pot is nice and warm. And I'm going to turn that off. It's going. Okay. Cool. Because moments ago it just like wasn't filming anything. Okay, I just got really excited because now we're doing the cool part. We're doing the cool part. Okay, so I'm going to separate the lemon limes, which are the darker color, and the green apple. So I'm going to try to do 2 and 2 just to make it even on both sides because we do have to flip our yarn and do sort of a replica. So I'm gonna open it up. So I'm gonna start with the lighter color, which is the green apple. Gonna layer on the dark color after it. I'm gonna shake it on top. Ooh! Oh my gosh, this looks like Halloween. Smells really good. Just want to get a nice layer, and I will throw these away. Now I'm gonna go for a semi-speckled effect. So I'm gonna do just a darker color, just in drops, sort of. Or maybe it won't be. Maybe we're just gonna throw it all in the pot and see what yarn dye happens. It's very green. It's very green in there. Ooh, that's warm. Don't touch that. I'm gonna grab a spoon just to submerge it a little bit around the edges. And what you're wanting is for the water kind of to become clear again. That means that the yarn has soaked up that color before we can flip. Okay, so we're gonna let it do its magic. I really don't know how long it'll be, and I will set a timer for 10 minutes and see if we need more time. It's really cool. It's really cool, and it smells really yummy. So it's really just like a happy dance for all of your senses. And then the fact that we get to knit something with this after. Where are my manners? I am doing multicolors because I want to do a sweater with color work in it. I am between a couple of choices. I'm between the Soldotna, the Sunset Highway. These are all patterns by Caitlin Hunter, by the way. Her color work is just, I'm just really excited. It's looking really good. I want to like check on it, but oh, that's cool. So I'm gonna let that happen and we'll check back in a few.
A few minutes later.
So I set the timer for about 10 minutes and I'm gonna check on this crock pot of wisdom to see what's happened. Ooh, okay. It definitely is coming out clear now, which is really cool. So now what we want to do is we want to flip our skeins. Okay. There's a lot that did not get covered by it, and I'm wondering if it's because I've overcrowded the yarn. Flip her over. It smells like candy apple because I'm just whoosh. Excellent work. So I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did on side A on side B. I'm trying to make sure this side is getting a little bit more of an even coat. I don't know if I got a great even coat the last time. Y'all, I'm a little bit nervous. I hope it turns out, I'm hoping for success. So I'm going to just do a little dip like I did before, just because I think some pieces got a little bit more yarn than others. Just zhuzh around, because I'm seeing some bits of white over there, and at the ends, And I'm going to set the timer for another 10 minutes and then we'll check back.
A few minutes later.
So we have flipped over our yarn. It has been soaking for the last 10 minutes. And I'm going to lift our lid and see what we've got going on. Ooh, 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 that's cool. That's really cool. Okay, so the water's a little bit murky and not all the yarn is covered. So I am going to try to get at the bits that are not colored with the green and just open up this last packet of green. This just feels like you don't do that. I'm gonna just do a little this because I've got a lot of white here. See friends, it's okay if we don't get it right the first time. I think I should have not put 2 skeins into this crock pot, but you know what? You live and you learn. And I'm gonna set this for another couple of minutes and see what happens. It's been an hour since the other yarn's been soaking. I'm going to cover this up and let it soak in some more color, and then I will turn it off. Set the timer for 20 minutes. So I'm going to grab this bowl of water and vinegar, and I'm going to pull one of these skeins out. I'm just going to bring it on over. So now we're going to dye yarn in the microwave. Make sure that if you are using a bowl and you're using the microwave method, that it is a bowl that can go into the microwave safely. I think what I have learned thus far is that the more colors, the better. Let's start with this one. We're here. Let's just do it. I do want to start with my lightest color this time. I think I'm going lightest to darkest. I think that's just how I'm going to do this. We've got a really nice orange color so far, and then I'm going to go in with the blue raspberry lemonade. So now I'm going to pop this into the microwave for 1 minute. So the idea of only microwaving 1 minute, even if it takes multiple minutes for it to soak through and for that water to come back clear, is that if we overheat the yarn, it might start to felt up, and we don't want that to change how our yarn works. So it looks like it needs some more time. I'm gonna pop it back in there for another minute. In the meanwhile, I'll get started on our next color. But I'm going to do this one in our darker colors. I'm just going along the outside. Now I'm going to go on the inside. I don't want it to get overly saturated. Too much water, too much water. Well, it dyes and it stains. Well, that looks like it's very saturated, so let me check on the first color. It looks like it still needs a little bit more time. I'm actually going to add a little bit more of that blue. I don't think that there's enough of it in there. But we're almost there. It looks really pretty. I'm pretty happy with this. Oh, and it even got some of the color underneath, which is really cool. But no speckles are showing on this side, which is a-okay. I really like this method better than Crock-Pot. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I feel like this should be done soon, but I'm going to just lift it up. Ooh. That actually might need another color in it. I didn't want to add another color to it, and maybe I'll just leave it kind of the green that it is. This is a 1.5 quart size bowl, and that's a 2 quart bowl. I think optimally the 2 quart is what I will go with for the final skein of yarn. The water is coming out relatively clear. I'm just letting it cool down before we rinse off our yarn. And while the water looks very dark, it's actually relatively, which is really fascinating how it just clings to the yarn. Let's start with the lemonade. I'm going to do a little circle over here, a little circle over there, a little stripe, stripe, stripey. I'm learning. Ooh, it smells good. Stir a little. So now I'm going in with the pink lemonade. This actually might come out pretty peachy. I might actually be playing too much with dipping the water in further, but if you have done this before and you can give me some tips, I'm happy to take them. Let me know in the comments down below. It's just exciting still. Yeet. Alright friends, so we're back. So I have let all of our colors here, I've let them cool over the last hour to get them to room temperature so that I can rinse them. I'm going to explain right now though the process of rinsing. So you want to make sure that the water that you're using is the same temperature as the yarn, and ultimately what you want is for the water to run clear through the yarn. To know like that, so that will be your final color once the excess is washed away. So this is it. These are our these are 4 different colors that we've created, and now they're drying, and so we'll see what they look like all dried up in the morning.
2 days later.
Hey everyone, and we're back. So it's been 2 days since I filmed the first part of this video. I thought it was supposed to take 1 day. The blogs said 1 day, and it took my yarn 2 days. And that, honestly, it's not bad. And I'm really happy with the outcome of it all. And I think there's some fun things I can do with what I've made. And also, I've learned a lot. I've grown as an individual, and it is that the reason for love. It's the reason why we're here today, I'll tell you that much. This was my first time dyeing yarn with Kool Aid. So that being said, let me show you the yarn we dyed in the crock pot, which was that lemon lime and green apple. I feel like I need a drum roll. Woo! Yeah! Look at these. These are bright, but they're also beautiful. I really love the deep levels of variegated color in here. This green, and then this like light, almost minty color over here. I think I just want to try to get this color next time for the, if I were to do a green again. I kind of want to try for a teal and then like a full soft green like this. It's really pretty. I love green. It's amazing. I'm really happy with how that came out. So I think if I were to do this again, I would just stick to the microwave method. I think the colors got a better level of saturation. I'm not sure why that is. If you know, put it in the comments. I want to know. Science.
Yes, science!
Are we ready? Bam! Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Look at the speckles. Look at the speckles. I got speckles. I love this color. I love the deep oranges. I love the light oranges. I do wish that I didn't get as much, that I would have been able to get full coverage. I've learned so much. I definitely want to play with more speckling the next time I do this. But this color is amazing. If you have any ideas for color names, drop it down below. On to the next, which was that beautiful red. I forgot what I used for this one. I remember it had grape in it. Mixed berry? And I think it had the blue raspberry in it too. I am just so happy with how it came out. Look at this. Look at this deep red. It looks like a Hawaiian Punch dream. It also kind of reminds me of like blood.
So yeah, it's a real mess in there.
It does, just a little bit. It kind of reminds me of Halloween. I think I'm just getting excited for fall. Or rubies. Rubies are nicer than blood. But yeah, you can see down here, I didn't get full saturation in certain areas. And I think this one would have been stellar with a full red saturation. I think this could be really cool. And maybe like a scarf paired with this guy, and it could be like fall thing. I don't know. I'm just thinking, I know I wanted to do a sweater. I know I was thinking Saldana or Sunset Highway, but I'm really thinking scarf. If you have any ideas for what I should make with this yarn, leave it in the comments down below. And finally, so at this point now we've learned a lot. I learned a lot as I went. And I had that final skein of yarn. This was like the pink lemonade extravaganza. Without further ado, bam! Look at this skein of yarn! I'm really proud of this. This is a wow moment for sure. This is just wow. I made this. This is like when you come home from school and you've been studying and you've been working on a thing and you're like, Mom, I did it. I did it. That's what this looks like. I am so happy with how this one came out. Unbelievable. It is pink all the way through. You did it, Kim. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much. That felt like an A++. This is another combination I was thinking about. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think? You tell me what you think. I am so excited about this yarn that I dyed today. Well, 2 days ago. I feel like a wow. I did this. It was actually relatively easy cleanup too. So if you were worried from the spill 2 days ago that I wasn't able to get it out, I was, and it was very easy to get out. Also something to note, I did think that I only needed like 5. I thought 2 would have covered per skein. And I think if you want a light coverage, that would have been fine. But if you want like a full saturation, I'd say I would try even upwards to 10 next time. I think if I were trying to do this again, I would do 10 packets of some sort of red. I think I did about 3 or 4 on each side. And I think that made a difference. And also I think saving that extra, let that emergency vehicle pass. I hope everyone's okay. I think what made this one the most evenly colored, I had that 7th or 9th packet with the pink lemonade or the strawberry lemonade that I added to this. I think that helped it when I flipped it and moved it around a little bit in that last pass through with color. So I'm very happy. I'm really happy. Friends, this is what I made. A little yarn bouquet. A bouquet. It's so pretty. And we did it. You did it. I felt your support in this project. Just wow. All right, friends, if you enjoyed what you saw in today's episode, you hit that like button right there. That's the one. And if you're enjoying watching all of my episodes, please make sure to subscribe to my channel so you get that notification when I put out my new video. Wow. Bye.